Neither Better Trades or any of its personnel are registered broker-dealers or investment advisors. I will mention that I consider certain securities or positions to be good candidates for the types of strategies we are discussing or illustrating. Because I consider the securities or positions appropriate to the discussion or for illustration purposes does not mean that I'm telling you to trade the strategies or securities. Keep in mind that we are not providing you with recommendations or personalized advice about your trading activities. The information we are providing is not tailored to any particular individual. Any mention of a particular security is not a recommendation to buy, sell, or hold that or any other security or a suggestion that it is suitable for any specific person. Keep in mind that all trading involves a risk of loss, and this will always be the situation regardless of whether we are discussing strategies that are intended to limit risk. Also, Better Trades personnel are not subject to trading restrictions. I and others at Better Trades could have a position in a security or initiate a position in a security at any time.
Hello, and welcome out to the Insights. We're going to start off. I'm going to try to knock this out fairly quickly. Just a little review was all looking over candidates and see what they've done, whether they popped or not today. And so I want to make this brief. We'll come out with the tomorrow and start doing some of the weekend stuff. But starting off with a little quote, and for some reason this one hit. The best way out is always through. And I don't know if lately the market's been a little challenging for you. It has been for me. And I mean, realistically, I'm sitting on the sidelines. There's a couple trades I've looked at a little more seriously and almost pulled the trigger on the last few days. But it's just this market is so hard to read right now. So if you feel like that, don't worry. It's not abnormal. I mean, it's always a little bit tough, but at the same time, sometimes there's periods where it just seems to be operating, kind of working the way, not to say it should, because it's going to do what it's going to do. There's not necessarily a right or wrong way that things happen, but there are periods where it does feel and seem easier. It seems like things are just clicking along. And there are other times where it just is confusing and some of the data and the information out there is conflicting. And right now is one of those times, at least for me. It seems a little kind of mixed, and the Empire, New York State Manufacturing Empire, something like that. I can't remember what it's called, but data point came out, when was that? Earlier this week, last week? I don't remember when I saw it, but showing that essentially corporate profits are in a recession. So if data like that, if economic data like that is coming out, then how is it that the market is still going up? It's kind of mind-boggling. Obviously, people think it's either a blip or they think that the economy is better than it really is, or something just doesn't feel right. It just doesn't seem right. That if data's coming out like that and earnings are in a recession for corporations, then the economy, the market should be heading south. And it leads me back to that idea that the Fed is kind of propping things up. Somehow one way with QE2, QE4, or whatever QE we're on. But getting back to the point, sometimes the best way, I like this, is through. You just have to fight through it. You just deal with it and kind of take it as it comes and do what you have to make things work. So with that being said, let's move on now and looking through the markets real quick. SPX, little spinning top today after a big day yesterday to the upside. NASDAQ, basically all the markets are the same. The interesting one is the transports, which has been pretty bullish the last couple of days at least, and kind of leaves us in this sideways channel that it's been in for the last month or two. And even though, I mean, we kind of have higher highs and higher lows, they're very subtle. They're not really significant. So we're, neutral, maybe slightly bullish as of right now in the short term, the intermediate term maybe. But the transports starting to kind of sort of catching up to the other markets, but not really. The Russell, on the other hand, is not. Still very neutral. So the transports on the Russell are still very neutral, with the other markets being fairly bullish in the short term. VIX not really telling us much. So just briefly run through all the big guys, and a lot of these. There's one, I'm not sure where this came from. ABC hasn't played out the way we expected it to. In fact, with the market moving up, a lot of these bearish plays aren't going to play out. This one, interestingly enough, didn't really even come close. Earlier in the week, it looked like it may, but the move to the upside was no surprise. But in the big gap down today, not sure if that's news. It's got to be some kind of news related. I don't know if that's earnings and the earnings thing is already gone or what. But Ambarella not working out. ASMG, ooh, made a nice little move down today. This is one that has got some pretty solid potential. Made a nice solid move to the downside. Would it be nice to see some more volume, but then again, not absolutely necessary. APC still waiting for that to materialize. Bluebird, a little bit of an evening star pattern after today, but still waiting for that to materialize on the downside. That may take a while. It may never materialize. Who knows? It may stabilize. It may stabilize right there at that point and head up from here. Who knows? We'll see. We'll just have to wait. And this is where the patience part kicks in. Citigroup not playing out. CME bounce back up, doing exactly what we want it to do, kind of. As of right now, at least it's back within the risk-reward area, but it's showing some bullish signs right now. So considering the bearish play that we're looking for, it's going to have to give us a bearish sign from here to get better. Delphi not playing out. DLR just sitting sideways. Actually, this is looking pretty good right now. I like it. It's setting up. It looks like it's setting up what could be a falling three. We got the big down day 5 days ago, 4 little spinning tops. So it is, it's a few pennies below the entry point. So we'll see what tomorrow looks like. Illumina took off. Oh, that's the one we looked at, but probably wouldn't have caught anyway. Intuit not playing out. Interestingly enough, look at the volume the last couple. Oh, that's earnings related. That's why. OMC not playing out. PII. Ooh. I like it. I like it a lot. We have Monday it down, and then Tuesday it gapped down. Yesterday it rallied back up, but on very light volume. Today a little spinning top on light volume. I like the looks of this right here. I like the looks of it a lot right now. So we'll see what tomorrow brings. If it gaps up and runs tomorrow, obviously it's gone. If it doesn't, it just goes sideways, then I'll be looking for something on this one. RTN not gone the opposite. TR Travelers not working out, and Win kind of iffy. It looked, we got Monday, Tuesday it hit all 4 days this week. This one's hit the entry point, but yesterday with a little dip down and then the rally back up and close up there. Granted, it was up 47 cents today, not very much, but on light volume. So that shows some weakness. So we'll see what Win brings us. Alarian. Monday it popped and then it's dropped off the last few days. Pretty solid volume today on the downside. So not sure what to make of this. We'll see what tomorrow's action brings. ATML. Wow, look at that. Triggered the entry point on Monday and then and Tuesday. And then boom, gaps up to the target today. It's only basically 50 cents, but 3 or 4 days probably would have popped 30 or 40 cents, got profit on this thing if you would have taken it first thing this morning. But if, the woulda, coulda, shoulda syndrome there. So, and Chesapeake didn't really trigger, never got back to that point. CSTM, still waiting for this. This thing could still materialize. And the fact that the volume has gotten really light this week with all small bodies, I like the looks of it. So if this thing starts to move solid to the upside, I will be very interested in it. CSX was looking for downside, gone the opposite way. CTL, CenturyLink, not playing out. EPD, it's pulled back a little bit. We had a nice bullish move on Monday. It's pulled back a little, so hard to say. If this thing gaps down or drops off tomorrow and then intraday starts to rally towards the end of the day, maybe an opportunity there. EXEL looking for bearish. Not too exciting. GM was looking for bearish. That's gone the opposite. JD still looking for that to break down. Kroger not materializing. SDRL still a possibility, but there's earnings coming out next week. So I like the chart. It's a nice little stable pattern here if it takes off to the upside, but earnings is the wild card. So, it is a $6 stock. Let's see how low could it go. It's never been this low. So how low can it go is a 0. So if you got a little appetite for risk, and in some ways it's almost like why even buy options? Just buy the stock. If you pick the stock up for $6, six and a quarter, whatever, 6.28. So we're close to 6.22. worst case scenario, if it goes to zero, then what do you have? I mean, I don't necessarily advocate that kind of risk, but options might only be $1 too. I mean, you can buy an option for 3 to 6 months and see what happens. Just throw it out there. I don't think that's necessarily the best plan. But if earnings comes out, and if you buy an option for $1, and if you're willing to risk the entire dollar, because if it gaps down to $4 or $5 on earnings, then your option is probably going to expire worthless. But if good news comes out and it rallies to $7 or $8, you're going to make a healthy chunk of change. So just know that if you decide to do that with earnings coming up, then it's a big risk. But it could be a huge payoff. It could be super painful. Hard to say. And then U.S. Bank not playing out the way we were looking for it to. So sweet and short. And we'll be looking for over the weekend to get some candidates for next week. So we will see. So y'all have a great rest of your day, great day tomorrow, and a great weekend. We'll see you very soon. Bye-bye.